Hey guys, I'm Mitch,
I'm Austin.
and this is Super Platinum Achievement. And Sony had their state of play today, mainly focused on third-party titles. We're going to break it down and give you our thoughts on everything that they showed off in just a minute. First off, guys, if you're new here, go ahead and smash that subscribe button down below. It really helps us out. We appreciate it. Also, at the end of this video, if you liked what you saw, give us a big thumbs up and don't forget to share with your friends as well. So yeah, the state of play was today. It was a little bit under half an hour, and they did exactly what they said they were going to do. They focused on mainly third-party titles and VR. They did have a couple first-party things thrown in there, but nothing major. So that makes us think they're going to do another state of play, or maybe just a couple smaller, dedicated state of plays for certain games.
So I mean,
we'll see.
This essentially kind of kicks off the summer of gaming. So wouldn't be surprised if we get follow-up stuff from Sony. And over the course of the summer, because it's not just confined now. Because now that E3 is kind of not a thing, this has kind of been a thing for the last couple of years, the summer of gaming. So it's kind of been, summer is generally the slower period of time for when games come out and stuff. So it's a good time to put all the news out there so people can still stay interested in the know, and not playing new things because they're not out right currently. So minus a few things here and there. I mean, even stuff on this list is actually coming out in the summertime. So, but
yeah, we got a couple. So yeah, they started us out with a Resident Evil 4 remake, which has been rumored for a long time.
Yes.
A lot of people thought it was going to be dead because they said that Resident Evil 4 was in development, and then they released the Resident Evil 4 VR, and people were like, oh, maybe that was it. And now they're like, oh, just kidding, we do have the actual remake coming. And with this remake, there is going to be VR content as well, they said. So, that's coming out in March of next year.
March 24th. Looks good. Obviously, the remakes of the last couple have been done really well. So I don't see why this wouldn't continue on that train. Then they did announce that it's going to have PSVR 2 support. And then from there, they rolled into several games we will see on the PSVR. Unfortunately, we did not get a release date for the PSVR 2, which is a bummer. Because that's what I was kind of hoping was going to be their big announcement, was when we were going to see this hit the market. So just a little while longer. I'm trying to look at the titles coming out and maybe try to narrow it down, but obviously it's not going to be till at some point next year. At this point.
We did get after, because they talked about Resident Evil Village coming to VR, and then we did get The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapter 2 Retribution with
and
a
that is coming out this year. You're right.
Yes, release date.
So maybe we can see a holiday release for this the PSVR 2. I guess I missed that. But they did announce No Man's Sky for the PlayStation VR 2, which is pretty cool. And obviously, we got to see a pretty more in-depth gameplay and stuff of Horizon Call of the Mountain, which honestly looks pretty cool.
It looks pretty fun.
Depending on how long it is, I'm sure it's not going to be more than probably just a handful of hours, because I think it's hard to build a continuous game in VR. But who knows? Maybe they could surprise us and actually have a worthwhile VR game on the market to compete with, I guess, Half-Life Alyx, I think, still considered the top VR game on the market at the moment. So maybe this can actually dethrone that. It looks pretty fun. It's, obviously the first person version of Horizon, and you get to kind of see that with shooting the bow and doing all the weapons and seeing all the, the beasts and creatures in front of you. So it looks pretty cool. And the graphics,
and honestly, you play as Reyes is the guy's name that you play as. And we got a little bit of info. He apparently was released from prison or jail or whatever to be able to fix whatever's going on with the machines in whatever location they are. We don't know exactly where they are in the world.
Yeah.
It did look very deserty though, so it might still be somewhere like Arizona or New Mexico, somewhere around there is kind of the vibes. Maybe Utah is what I was getting, which is still pretty close to the area that the other games take place in, but we don't know. It looks pretty good, and I don't know, like Austin said, how long it's going to be. It kind of looked like it's just a little mini adventure of you climbing up this mountain and figuring out whatever's going on. That's kind of what it seemed like to me. and then it's over. So yeah, probably only 3 to 4 hours tops is what I'm guessing, but who knows. And then after that, they went on to give us an update on Horizon Forbidden West, which has an update that is out right now.
Their major update, as they refer to it as.
And that includes new performance mode, transmog with your outfits, and then you can reset your skills now, which is a nice feature, because later on in the game you might be like, oh shoot, I didn't want to upgrade that skill tree, I should have focused more on this. Now you can reset it and redo your skill points, as a lot of RPG games are. So that was a good update.
Got New Game Plus in there as well, with new dedicated trophies for that, which
and
weapons. People were waiting on to restart for New Game Plus. A new difficulty mode as well. For those real hardcore players. So
and that
was
was
stuff.
That was our start into the first party announcements. There were only 3 games they talked about for first party. The last one being Spider-Man is coming to PC. SpiderMan Remastered. So the PS5 version of Spider-Man is coming to PC. And we predicted this. We talked about this a while ago, that's Sony's new plan, is to release their older games that have been flushed out and just kind of milked on the PlayStation
we have already seen
already.
With Horizon Zero Dawn, Days Gone, God of War,
Uncharted.
Like those games have moved onto PC years after they've come out. So like obviously their money they're not making money anymore, or the sales have gone down enough to a point where they feel comfortable putting them on a different platform that doesn't require owning the PlayStation, obviously, and to increase
so 4
the sales.
years.
And I think for them it's been successful because those are titles that many people want to play, and then not everyone has access to. So
I think that's going to be their biggest seller, honestly, for PC titles.
Sony's obviously investing in PC, and that's kind of evident with this announcement as well. So pretty cool.
Yes.
August 12th for all you PC players out there that have not played Spider-Man yet. So definitely worth it, in my opinion.
You should. And then we got a extended gameplay trailer for the long-awaited Stray. This game was announced a couple years ago, and it's really interesting looking. It looks actually pretty good. I'm actually excited for this one. Comes out really soon, July 19th. And the surprise announcement for this is that if you are a PS Plus Extra or higher member, it is included. You don't have to pay for this game.
That's just tier 2 on PS Plus, so you don't have to have the top membership. You just have to pay the next step up. So included, which is super cool. So it's going to be nice to see.
$100 for the year for that one.
Yeah, so maybe we'll see these more smaller indie titles actually be day one exclusives on this service, because Sony obviously is adamant not having day one releases on their service for the PlayStation Plus, but maybe these indie titles that maybe weren't going to sell, they're worried they're not going to sell as well or stuff like that. Now, they're obviously get a percentage of the money and downloads that they get through the PlayStation service. So super cool. I'm excited. I've been looking forward to this game since the first announcement trailer. So looks fun, kind of a little stealthy platforming game. So you get to play as a cute little cat. Come on, what's better than that? We went back to. I believe this is also a third-party game, and it's not an exclusive to PlayStation, at least as we're aware. But looks super cool. The Callisto Protocol is the title of it, and it's essentially it looks like their version of Dead Space. Very much in that same vein of Dead Space. For a second I thought it was Dead Space. I'm like, they're changing the story a little bit, but no. So you're on, I believe it was Saturn's moon, Callisto, and everything's like freezing around you. So it's everyone's dead, air quotes. Not actually dead. Looks interesting. Just kind of got a brief look at that. Definitely a sci-fi survival horror. Going to be probably pretty gory. Kind of got to see guys' head explode pretty good in that. And then I saw in the blurb that it is voiced by Josh Duhamel of Transformers fame and whatnot. So pretty high profile actor as the main character there. So looks fun. I'm probably looking forward to that. And that actually does come out this year in December 2nd. So that is probably a pretty big title still for this year to come. And obviously not just for PlayStation, but
Yes.
They talk about how it's enhanced for the PS5 with 3D audio and the dual sense and things like that. So
yeah, you get all the DualSense controller features with the adaptive triggers and the haptic feedback and all that fun stuff. But yeah, December 2nd. And then Roller Drome is the next one to come out. So it's a roller derby game with guns. So it looks just like a fighting game that you go around, and I don't know if it's multiplayer. They didn't give us a lot of info on it.
It was just kind of like the person skating around shooting people. So it looked, I mean, it looked interesting. Comes out this summer, August 16th. I'm assuming, maybe that's another one that's going to be in the PlayStation Plus Extra or higher tier. It might be able just to download for free if you have the service, but we'll see. It looks kind of fun, kind of interesting.
So I'm not sure I'll play that one, but
I think it'd be worth checking out because especially if they do add a multiplayer element to it, it could definitely be a pretty fun experience.
Yeah, I think that's where that kind of game would shine, would be multiplayer. But we'll see. We won't judge it until we play it. And then the next one, very JRPG style looking, and that's Eternites. That comes out early 2023, and the way they described it was a action mixed with a dating sim.
Yes, so all you dating sim fans out there, because I know there's a lot of you. It's like half of the games on Steam right now are dating sims. So this is for you, and I actually know probably several friends that would be interested in this game. Probably personally for me, not it's probably a no-go. I'm not a huge fan of the anime style in games like that.
And I do like those games. I think they're fun for the action based. I'm not sure about the dating sim style. I've never been one into that.
But you got to hold R1 to hold hands, okay?
I know. It's exciting.
Where have you seen that in any other game? Come on. Groundbreaking.
Take that, Final Fantasy.
Yeah. So then we did get another big announcement after that, and that is being Street Fighter 6.
Yes.
That is coming out also in 2023, which is, I think people obviously know it was probably on the way at some point, but we finally got its announcement trailer. So it looks like there's some story mode involved, obviously the classic, just, fighting, and there's an online component they just barely showed. Like a little hub or something hub. That was kind of it. But we got. I mean, the trailer was about 2 minutes long. It was actually pretty good length for the trailer there. So I'm sure people are excited about that. Let's hope they don't do the same thing they did with Street Fighter V and almost end up having to re-release it as a different version to include all the features that should have already been in the game. So hopefully they've learned. But we'll see. Time will tell. They only showed 6 characters, which is not even close to the full roster. And I think if that's what they launch with, people will be upset. But
that won't fly.
That won't.
But I mean, that's still a ways away. I mean, 2023 is all we got, so that could be. December 2023. We have no idea.
But we did get a nice
Hadouken!
So that
we got some Ryu, a nice aged Ryu.
Yeah, he's got a nice beard going on here, and looking like old man, starting to look like old man
Ryu.
So,
and then we got an announcement for a game that's actually already been out on Xbox for a while, a couple months now, I believe. That's an indie title called Tunic. If you like the Zelda dungeon crawler kind of games, then this is for you. It is very Zelda-esque as far as the top-down Zeldas go. It's almost a straight-up ripoff, honestly, of Zelda. You even look like it.
He's wearing the same tunic. He's wearing the same tunic as Link, so it's kind of.
But you're a fox, so it's completely different.
But you're a fox. So that comes out September 27th for the PlayStation. So, fun puzzle game, dungeon, not dungeon crawler, I kind of guess. So
kind of, yeah. And then another indie title, Season: A Letter to the Future. And we're not really sure what this one is. They didn't show much aside from you riding a bike around.
And then you record things.
Yeah, record things. We don't really know. They didn't give us any info. I tried looking up more info to see what all platforms it would be on, to see more about it. I couldn't find anything yet. So very
very independent.
It's got the cool art style that I like, being that cel shaded. It looks pretty cool. It looks pretty. But we don't know what this game is.
Nothing about it. So yeah, and that is an autumn 2022 release. I would not be surprised if Sony, before that comes out, comes out with a state of play for indie games. They've done that before in the past, and I'm sure they would do one again, and maybe we'll get more information for this game, and obviously more indie titles coming out in the near future. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we get to see more on it, because at this point, I have no idea what it's even about. So if it's an exploration game, if it's essentially like a walking simulator style game, or something else, I don't know. It's kind of hard to figure out. So, but yeah,
sure.
That was it for that. And then we finally got, I think, considering is probably the big announcement of the state of play, and that is a full release trailer of Final Fantasy 16 with a release window of summer of 23. Game looks pretty crazy. It's I don't know what the time period is, but it looks more medieval than we've seen recently. So I don't know if we're going back in time with we'll see with the Titans or Giants or whatever the GFs they call them, or they showed off Ifrit, Shiva, Odin. It's kind of the stuff the summons you recognize from Final Fantasy, fighting each other. So I don't know if it's like an origin of them or where we're going with this game, but it's definitely not driving around in a car with your buddies anymore. So
right.
We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully get more on that as well. We still have a year till that comes out, so it's going to probably be about this time next year. We're going to see that game launch. Hopefully, hopefully no more delays push that back. And as of right now, it is only launching on PS5. We haven't been confirmed on PC or if an Xbox version is in the works at all. So we'll see.
Yeah,
I think it might be an exclusive for PlayStation for a period of time, or maybe there is a behind the scenes purchase of a certain company that we have discussed that maybe will prevent this game from being on other platforms. We don't know.
Yeah,
but we might find out eventually.
We've tried to look into it to get more info on if it is 100% coming to PC or not. If you look it up, the first thing that pops up is that it is coming to PC, but then when you dive in, it has not been confirmed. They had that fluke when it was first announced that it was coming to PC, but then they retracted that immediately and straight up said, no, it's coming to PlayStation only at launch. Yeah. So it most likely will be a launch exclusive for PlayStation, but I could see in 6 months or so it coming to PC later.
Or
I would not
maybe.
Be surprised. Yeah, I would not be surprised to see it stay off of Xbox completely. But I mean, it could take a year or two and come to Xbox at some point. I mean, Final Fantasy VII, the exclusivity is up on that already, and we still haven't seen it come to Xbox. So.
No, because they're focused on their own games because they have so many of them. So
yeah, so Xbox fans, I would not be holding your breath to see Final Fantasies coming your way anytime soon. So if you want those, grab a PC if you don't have one, or I know it's horrible, a PlayStation. And
no! How dare you say that?
But yeah, so that's all it was. That was the end of it. We didn't have any one last thing kind of announcement.
I was kind of waiting for the God of War and out like a date for God of War, because they're still adamant it's coming out this year, which tells us there's going to be another state of play. Maybe more directed towards actual first party titles, Sony exclusive titles. So maybe we'll be able to see that some mid to late summer.
Yeah, I think we're going to get a PlayStation Studios state of play, possibly just a state of play for God of War. But what I think will happen is we'll get a PlayStation Studios state of play, and
maybe more of a showcase style of it, where we get to see the PSVR 2 in person. And stuff like that, kind of in an E3-esque style presentation, more so than a state of play. It could be an actual showcase in the future. So fingers crossed that we get to see more before this summer is up, because I would like to. So yeah, that was the state of play. I think we both kind of agreed it was just kind of what we expected. Wasn't bad. It was better than the previous one, I think I will say. We did get release dates or release windows. Got to see some cool games that are on their way and not that far away. So yeah, and just was hoping to see the PlayStation VR 2 release date, but did not get that.
That was the only thing that did surprise me, is that we didn't get any info on the PSVR 2.
Yes, considering they had like a good chunk of the time talking about it. But other than that, I think it was a pretty decent state of play. These, I think there's, the state of plays are never like a huge, big platform for releasing games. That's more when they do their showcases or special events. So hopefully we get to see
Yeah.
one of those later on in this summer of gaming. So yeah, if not,
Yeah.
we see something, I'm sure, sometime soon.
At some point, I wouldn't be surprised to see something end of this month, even. Like I said, with the PlayStation Studios, where they talk about the rumored Naughty Dog games that are coming out, where they talk about the rumored Sucker Punch games, where they give a God of War announcement and a VR announcement as well, and actually go into details on those. And then I do think, like we said, after something like that, we will get a dedicated God of War state of play, really diving into that. And then during that state of play, during the showcase, we'll get a release date, and then during the state of play for God of War, we'll get more gameplay, and that'll probably be like what it was with Horizon, probably just a month or two before it comes out. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking we're gonna get another showcase at the end of this month or beginning of July, but we'll see. They're gonna do something else because PlayStation Studios barely made a peek in this one, so.
And they're working on a lot. We do know that. So
we do know that. So let us know what you guys think. What games were you excited to see in this? What games were you disappointed not to see? Let us know in the comments. We love to hear from you guys. Love to chat with you. Do you think they're going to do another showcase here sooner or later? We'd love to know what you think. If you like this video, share with your friends. Give us a big thumbs up. Don't forget to smash the subscribe button. And we'll hope to see you again here on
Super Platinum Achievement.
We'll see you guys.
Bye.